So it's Wednesday, January 12th, 2022. I'm turning the frame around. When you talk about changing your mind, it's lifting the lid, swapping a brain with someone else, and then that's changing the mind, like changing the oil. Hold on. Hi, thank you very much. You too. Have a great night. We've all seen me too much. We've all seen me too much. Me too. I discovered not too long ago that when I was, oh yeah, someone else took a picture of me, and I went, I saw myself, oops, I saw myself and I went, oh my God, that guy's ugly. Whatever. Anyway, I used to make the videos by looking at me, right? How, of course, they're going to be self-inflated, but as I'm making those videos, I think what people forget sometimes is that there's another side to it. I'm talking, not, I went to a place and I sat there and I talked. No, there's shit happening all around me. Wherever I'm making the videos, there's people, there's cars, there's things going on all around me. And I'm making it as a side comment. Even like here, people, they can see me holding a phone up. And so then it's like, I don't know. A lot of people are like, oh, this guy's got a phone. If he's got a phone, then fuck him. And, but I have to comment today because last night kind of marked a turning point in things, and I guess I gotta explain. Tracy, in the last 3 months, has gone from being able to see to being completely blind. And it's been a decline, a steady decline, but it was a rapid onset steady decline. Versus over years, this has happened in 3 months. Understandably, she's freaked the fuck out. Of course, right? Everybody would be. Then, and I don't know what to do. The burden of life is hard enough on both of us as it is anyway, that we're not able to function no matter what. So now, on top of that, there's this too. I got to escort her everywhere, and I don't have a problem with that. I love her. She's my old lady. But it is just more physical movement in every day. I didn't realize that in a day when you got old, you would slow down. It'd be more painful. I can't do things. Obviously, I'm fucking old as shit. I can't do things like I would when I was young. I can do a lot of things pretty well. I smoke too much. But I have enough resilience to where, or arrogance or whatever, I don't know what it is, that I think that I could run, I could get in a gym. It's also not arrogance. There's a background to it. Every time I ever went to the joint, you fucking, get rescued for a minute, blow up, eat well, do some push-ups, pretty soon get big again, get swole. There was a time when I was a monster. But, not 10 years ago, I was 230 and buffing every day. But now, and also in the last 6 years, things have taken a dramatic downward dark turn. So it's not like I'm quite as disciplined as I used to be. It's impossible to be that way. this has been more than once now. Our issue has always been the police fucking with us, doing illegal shit, all the way from swooping our RV and our Lexus to fucking making us to where we could go nowhere. I'm glad there's the Homeless Bill of Rights that has all these protections for people. That's great, except that I feel like Tracy and myself have been the pioneer donkeys that got punched so that all these things could come about. I always seem to be the person that they make the law for or whatever, you know? So after Topanga, like we got kicked out of Topanga over there at the Super 8 because illegally, totally illegally, because they didn't want us. We've been back over there. There's nothing happened to the hotel. Not a thing has been done. There was no reason for them to do it. They just didn't want to pay the staffing anymore to stay there. They didn't need to. All they needed to do was leave some power on and a key and just say, hey, you know, we expect you to clean up and take care of this shit. Maybe have a person or two, but they didn't need this fucking ridiculous. Anyway, be that as it may, that was the case where the police fucking way overstepped their bounds. We're still trying to figure out what to do about that. We come down here to Camarillo, and a little bit of brush here and there. We have some issues, but not really anything of consequence. So we are over at Motel 6. Now, mind you, to everybody, I know I am a fucking asshole. Not a problem. But I have my reasons, and for whatever reason, it's within my legal rights. I have a legal right to not be forced to wear a mask. I have a legal right to be able to say what I want as long as it's not, you know, criminally threatening in fashion. I have a legal right to be able to be left the fuck alone. Unless there's a goddamn good reason that cops have pull you over, put hands on you, do all that shit, cuff you for their safety, whatever. If you got a Batman belt with fucking non-lethal fucking takedown tools and your go-to response is always the gun, then fuck you anyway, you fucking weak punk. You gotta fight in groups. What's the difference between, you know, like 20 Southsiders beating the shit out of one white boy in jail versus 20 cops beating the shit out of one white boy on the street? So, fuck all the racial beatings. They never discriminated in my eyes. You could be Alaskan, Mexican, Chinese, white, black, whatever. You could be royalty, you could be fucking mayor's son, but if you lip off enough, you could get the fucking dog shit beat out of you. That's the truth. And without much more provocation, get killed in the process. Anybody who doesn't know that, I mean, like all these cops are talking to you, oh, I've only heard there's been levels of professionalism, and I'm like, really? You're kidding. You're a cop down here, you're a sergeant down here, and you never heard nothing untoward towards the other, not a word? Nobody ever you never saw a paper, a magazine, anything about the fucking hundreds of thousands of people that are shouting to the world how murderously insane the LAPD are. I mean, you got both fucking law enforcement agencies in Los Angeles County under permanent federal investigation and indictment. So who's the bad guy here, really? I say they're bad guys, and then if the bad guys don't like me, then that means by double negative that I'm a good guy, because bad, whatever. So we go to this Motel 6 here in Camarillo, and I am sleeping. Tracy gets into a word thing with some chick. We close the door, thinking it's all gone away all over. A few minutes later, I'm sitting there having a smoke. A few minutes later, I hear some kind of noise, yelling outside the door, and I go out there to see what it was. And a dude runs up into my face and goes, "You got a problem with people around here?" And I said, "I got a problem with you right now, motherfucker. Get the fuck out of my face." And the dude, "You're out of here." And he calls the cops, and they came over like a little jackboot fucking henchmen and said, "Either you go or you go to jail. But you're not going back in that room," to either one of us. And we had paid. This was early in the evening. I had just barely gotten back. It was like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. So that ended up being, I ended up stumped. Sometimes you get your ass handed to you, you just go, fuck it. I gotta suck it up because I can't do anything about it. Later that night, we had some of the other henchmen come over and tell me, "Hey man, if you're not leaving Camarillo, we'll make you leave Camarillo." And I'm like, really? You're gonna go there? Hold on for one sec. I figure you guys have something better to look at than my ugly face, nose hairs on top and then up in the nostril. Now, I'm flying the Smile Be Happy sign. You see how many cars are coming, right? Look at these cars. These are not just your everyday fucking valley normal cars, of which are even the parade of old money just never stops flowing through here. Now, admittedly, this place is probably burnt because I've been here too long, but yeah. Anyway, this one cop later that night tells me if I'm not thinking about leaving Camarillo, he's gonna find ways to arrest me for whatever reason and force me to leave Camarillo. Keep doing it over and over. And I told him, "Big dude, I'm a whole convict. I swim in jail like a shark does in the ocean. So don't try to threaten me with that shit." Then another cop stopped us after that driving around one night, and he was trying to we had a bad registration, so he was trying to say that, he goes, "Oh, your pupils aren't dilating as much." I go, "Well, do you have out your ocular measuring tool?" You know what I mean? Dude, shut the fuck up. I'm a 62-year-old beat down old man. I don't give a shit what way my pupils are dilating or not. There's nothing I'm doing wrong or have any reason for it. And this guy's flashing his light. Well, this was a guy last night that Tracy and she's freaking out. She's yelling at me. I'd yell back for a second. She'd yell some more. She's yelling. She was yelling, getting it out. Okay, she's gone blind. Nobody's giving a fuck. We're just as bad or worse than we ever were. There's no fucking hope in our future, and you just got to deal with that. It's like, at least if you're gonna die, let me see death coming. You know what I mean? Fuck. So we're trying to get her fixed up. We're fighting with fucking the Medi-Cal over that shit, and she's yelling at me. And finally, we get tired. She needs to pee. We'll start driving around over at Ralph's through the parking lots. We're in a parking lot. She's yelling at me. That's all. It's not after 10. She's yelling at me, and I'm going to yell back every minute. So whatever. So then We're driving around. We get around like, I don't know, a couple 100 feet, and a cop comes behind us and pulls me over in the parking lot. This leads to 10 cars, 15 cops, and the guy, one of the guys, I think is the same guy that pulled me over and said my pupils and all this. It would figure because he is as wrong about this one as he was about that one. He comes up and tries to open the door immediately. That's like his first things. And I go, what, dude? I had locked the door. I had just left a little slit down from the top. I go, get the fuck out of here. What are you trying to get in my fucking car door for, asshole? And the guy's like, what? He goes, roll the window down. I go, fuck you, punk. I'm not doing shit. And he didn't know what to do at first. Well, some other guy comes up and is talking to me. I'm talking to the dude through the glass. And this motherfucker reaches around illegally, without any kind of fucking permission, opens my door in the back and starts looking around. I had to get out of the car in order to force him to shut the fucking door. So by then, I'm out the door. They were pulling me over for a domestic disturbance or whatever. Her yelling at me. But if I'm not fucking mistaken, she could yell at me, or me, her, or us both at each other all we fucking want, because that is part of our right to free speech. No one ever stated there was a volume limit to people shouting. We could fucking sit there and shout at each other all we fucking want. That's our personal business. That doesn't have any... They said they got a call. Tracy told me that she saw cops in the parking lot, but she continued to yell, which probably drew them like, I don't know, shit to flies. And they make up all the rest of it from there on. Bottom line is, I end up getting supposedly arrested and cited right there for non-compliance. Delayed delaying to comply, basically. I took too long to comply and hurt this one dude's feelings. And I don't give a fuck about his feelings. I mean, come on. This is America. What the fuck is going on? We had been assholes, guilty as charged. If being an asshole was a crime, then I'd be doing time. But since shouting isn't illegal, get the fuck off my ass. They just don't like a dude that, because even with all the cops there, they still weren't really ready to put hands on me, because even 62 years old, I wheeze when I breathe. I can run 10 feet without falling down, getting, burned out. By 30 seconds, my arms have turned into tree trunks, and I can't swing them anymore. And yet, all these motherfuckers, everywhere we go, always have to get groups of dudes to come and fucking... And then they don't even do anything. Now, mind you, look at all these cars that are coming through there. These aren't slouch vehicles. These are righteous rides. But anyway, so I was trying to be cool with the dude. To an extent. At first, he just caught me in the wrong. If some dude's got his old lady shouting in his ear, and you come up and you want to pull this other tough guy shit on the side, well, I'm gonna get fucking angry and get the fuck away from my car, asshole. Don't be trying to open the door. You might get some. And they think that they have the right to do that, and no repercussions. And if you try to fight back, then I could get slapped down. No. No, no, no. I told this motherfucker, you work for me, dude, not the other way around. I am the taxpayer. I am the citizen. And this is what Americans need to say. Even if you are guilty of a crime and you know you're getting locked up, you tell them, yeah, I know I did a crime, but still, you work for me, dude, so you apprehend me perfectly and carefully. That's what, we need to have this happen. If people don't start saying things, even if they know it's going against them, they start protesting or, saying something to the offending parties for whatever it is, whether it's businesses like the Panda Express fucking insisting, being assholes about mask wearing. It's bullshit. Who the fuck are they? Who is the federal government to be sort of de facto deputizing all of America's food service industry, or any other for that matter, about, especially when it comes to like vaccine passports and all. So this is a portion of my medical history of which I am fucking have the right to have confidentiality. You can't force me to break any of it. You can't force me to wear restrictive attire that I don't want to wear. I'll wear or not wear whatever the fuck I want. The things that I've gotten, and so now, from the top, the dude's insane. He's just authorizing all kinds of crazy shit. Then this leads the governors and to the various cabinet members and governors to have their own agendas. Guys like Ron DeSantis, I fucking admire that guy. He's great. He knows what's right. He's a good man. Guys like fucking Gavin Newsom, he had to have cheated to not be pulled out of office. I hate that motherfucker. I hope he dies. And he's not even the worst one, really. Then it goes down to the mayors. Well, I could only say that in this town, which is obviously privileged and fucking entitled, I'm not digging the program here, but definitely Garcetti down in LA is just a power-hungry little fucking demo dweeb that's just, he's such a fucking worm, a regular slug. And then this goes down to departmental heads from there. The feds, the state, the city, the micro city, whatever, they all have their hierarchy, their chain of command, this fucking cathedral of power, and each one of them has their hand out. And so each one's getting greased in a different fashion, And when it comes to, well, that sounds really preposterous. I don't know if somebody would do that for money. Really? Pretty much everything that's scummy that's ever been done gets done for money. I mean, come on. Look at a guy like fucking Bill Gates. What has that guy got on anybody? A lot of money. Of course, he's also digging around their fucking files and shit. Probably everybody's ever got any kind of Microsoft shit has all their shit's compromised. Everything you've ever done online is the property of Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg. These are some trustworthy fuckers. There's the Oxnard crowd, but the Oxnard Mexicans, they are not poor. Of course, they come up here, they work. They have to work pretty hard because it's expensive to live here, too. Oh, more so than most. So they come in nice cars. They're young and up-and-comers. Guys that have been working in the fields are doing a hard job, but they've done it for long enough to where the discipline, they're disciplined. They're great. And I've really only met good people here for the most part. illusion. Like if you look at like Sharky's is good. Yeah, I like that. The Spanish tile roofs, the same fucking. God, I am burnt. The same turret, like raised roof facades and the archways, the pillars. These are all signs of like pseudo-generic Mediterranean, Spanish Mediterranean, Southern California architecture that is used too much. If your house looks like a plaza store, look at that little girl right there, she's smiling. Because a smile be happy. So here's this dude sitting out here with a smile be happy sign talking on the phone, and people got by and they're like, what the hell? You see, nobody's stopping. That's what smile be happy gets. Nobody's stopping. Nobody cares. The only time you get money out of them is when you guilt trip them. Yeah, you got to guilt trip them. Because if you wish somebody well, then you're probably a spy or something. You're doing something, you got a plan, you're suspicious somehow. But, you know, I'm sitting on a bucket. I've been out here for months. Anyone looking at me, if they don't know that ultimately what I'm trying to do is hustle a buck, well, then they're fucking stupid. But have you been seeing these cars? Is all I'm saying. Seeing the cars. You don't see no rundown, beat down, jalopy fucking cars. A lot of super nice ones. And this all started the other day. 4 days ago, Tracy and I just take a little drive up in the hills. Just go for a different trip around town, just to chill our minds a little bit. We go through this one area in a big looping circle drive that was some of the most opulent, rich fucking people ever. And we just kind of sickened us both, you know, and like not a few, a lot. And so we come down, we hustle up bucks, we're doing things, scrounging to pay a bill or all this. And the next day when we pulled up here behind Target to Panhandle again, and this woman pulls up in a truck and she gets out and she pulls up and sits there for a while. And I was looking at her like, well, what the fuck is doing there? So finally, she's being so weird, I get out and I go over to her and I say, can I help you? And she's taking, thank you very much, have a great night, I appreciate that. She's got her camera, she rolls down the window, she pulls her camera up. I go, what are you doing? And she goes, I am taking a picture of your rear license plate. And I go, why? And she snaps the picture. I just said, why? And she looks all scared and rolls up her window and drives off. And I try to fucking catch up for a minute, but, you know, so during the rest of the afternoon, we've seen a few people acting weird like that. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? So I called up Deputy Dyer, supposedly the homeless liaison here. Mind you, they've kicked us out of Motel 6, cost me $90 that we didn't have. On a night where it was freezing, we had to sleep in the car. And then they came and threatened me that same night with arresting me on charges that until I gave up and crushed and left Camarillo. So the guy stops me one night with the pupils thing, stupid. And then this shit happens last night. They jammed me up outside the car, and it was all because I hurt this guy's feelings by not caving into his fucking bullshit to begin with. Mind you, at Motel 6, I told one of the cops there, this snarky little smarmy fuck, I told him, I go, dude, I'm 62 and I'm beat up from the feet up. But when I get done with this shit, I'm going to sue the fuck out of you, and I'm not going to sue you for money. I'm going to sue you for the right to get in the ring, referee that fight. But I'm going to beat the fucking dog shit out of your 25-year-old, pretty-faced, clean-smelling ass. And this guy freaks out. He's freaked out now. So you can't threaten a cop and, oh, fuck that bullshit. You guys don't need to come in a gang in. You're looking at these cars, right? All these cars. And this area where these houses were was like an entire valley that was just unbelievable. People's houses that look like castles. I mean, do you live in a castle? Do you need to live in a castle? Honestly. So I switched the sign around. Now it says, help a veteran. We'll see what happens. My problem with this is that it seems like at a certain point since we've been here that the guys up here talk to the guys down there, and it's not all good now. That's a problem. And then I wonder if when they do that NCIS check, oh, hi, thank you very much. And you have a beautiful smile. Oh, wait, that's why. That's why. If people would smile, that would be better. Now it's back to the smile. I don't like asking for shit. I don't dig it. But in a weird way, like people think that I'm asking for something. I'm not asking for nothing. I'm saying, hey, go ahead, smile, be happy. Who cares, you know? Most of the time, people don't read the signs. I've had people run away from it, like aggravated. And it's like, are you fucking kidding? How full of yourself are you that you think that you shouldn't have to? I like the other people that just do like they're steering on a wheel and they do a little hand motion there, like flick their fingers. Like, oh yeah, I see it, but I'm not too busy for that. And I'm going, okay. Someone's got a steamboat that's flying behind me. Anyway, yeah, that's where I'm at.